Hello, welcome to our webinar on accounting software for hospitality. My name is Stephanie Davis and I'm the Managing Director of Pembroke Software. Just the agenda for this webinar. For anybody who doesn't know us, I'd like to do a quick overview on Pimbrook, show you a couple of our client testimonials, pop out to the Sage products, and if time permitting, we'll have a Q&A at the end. And I'll leave up my contact details. So, we've been privileged enough to win the Sage Irish Partner of the Year for the last 4 years. An area that we strive on to win this is based on our customer service. And I think serving over 1,300 customers through an 18-year period has certainly given us an insight into a lot of industries and their business processes. Two of the primary products that we service these clients on are around Sage 50 and Payroll. And we service most of Ireland through our Dublin and Waterford office. So you can see on the left-hand side there a couple of our clients, a lot of brand name, one you might be very familiar with. And you can see the comments on the right-hand side regarding our company and our service. We are privileged to be able to help these businesses through their business processes and learn about them and how we can best serve them. Now, without further ado, we'll pop out to the Sage product. An area I'm going to concentrate on today is around the purchase ordering. So just quickly there, you'll have a list of all your suppliers, and behind each supplier, you'll have a number of parameters. One, just want to point out there to use an email address. So when you want to email directly your purchase order to your supplier, it can be achieved. Now, I've got a nice simple database here. So I'm going to pop in and create a purchase order. So once I select my supplier, I can select from my range of products if I have them on file here. And what I'll do is I can amend the line if I wish to on that to give it further details. So I can give maybe an instruction, one off onto this PO if I wish to. I've got my quantity, my unit price, assuming I've got a supplier price list, a nominal code, VAT code, and note here, something we'll come back to later on, is a department. So I can add any number of products here on the, on the purchase order. So let's just fix that there to be, let's say, you can just pop that one there. Okay, and I'm going to save that purchase order. Now, based on the parameter that I have, I can order now or order later. So I'm going to order now. Something you don't have to do is print your purchase order, but just for the purpose of the demo here, I just want to show you that the Sage 50 comes with a report designer. So all these layouts can be customized for you. Some people print them for their file if they wish to. Other people just ignore the print option and go straight away, which I'll show you here, to the email if they want to, and just click on the email and it'll auto attach the PDF. If you look here, it's created my first purchase order for this supplier and this date, and it's got a status of on order, and it has also been emailed and printed. So next we would expect after that is to receive our deliveries. Now, if you're lucky enough that your supplier is able to fulfill a purchase order in one go, you can click the receive deliveries. More often than not, what happens is you have to go in and individually tick each line. So this allows you to part deliver a PO if required. So I'm just going to show you this example. Assuming I make all my changes there that I need to, I'm going to click on deliver, and I'm prompted now, do I wish to update the stock and record delivery for the selected order, which I do. The next prompt, and remember these are all parameterized, is do I want to print a goods received note. Now again, for the purpose of the demo, I'm going to say yes. Again, this is not a mandatory requirement, but what I may want to do is print this goods received note and attach it to the delivery docket that I received from my supplier and tie the two entities up if I wish to. Possibly pass them to the accounts department. Now, assuming a number of days later or a month later, whatever it is, you will receive an invoice. So popping into the update here. Now, I don't want to have to key in everything that I did the first time because that's the purpose of putting the purchase order on. I've got a record of the purchase order and my receipts. So what it's going to do while I'm recording my invoice here, what it's going to do is going to pull all the information through per line and it will add that. Now, if I decide I can override that department, so I may wish to put it into a different department, or I may have overridden that on the purchase order line, or I may have set up a default automatically on the product code. Whatever way, that's going to be down to the implementation design. So I've closed that off. You can see now my order is off order. The deliveries are completed and it's been posted in full. And that, if we pop into our supplier account, we go to our activity, you will see here now is my purchase order and the invoice relating to it. And I can drill through and see also what I've got on the line. So full transparency of the invoice back through to the purchase order. Now, not everybody is going to use Sage 50 for their purchase ordering. You may be using that in an external system. So you may decide to have a till system or something equivalent where you can put on your purchase order, goods receiving, and your purchase invoice via that system. So you just want Sage 50 to be used as an account system. If that's the case, and likewise for your revenue, your till receipts possibly, and your maybe voucher system, anything like that. So as they say in the trade, I've prepared 2 files from an external system for customer and suppliers, and I'm going to take those and I'm just going to pop them in. Now this would happen automatically. It's only for the purpose of the demo that I'm just showing. I'm going to pop them into an import directory. Now this data structure has all been decided at implementation stage, and those export files can happen overnight, and we can get the system to poll or look in that directory at different periods of time. So just so you show you, I'm going to log out of Sage 50 so I don't have to be logged into it. Okay, and I'm going to set up my external system, and that's just going to have that external system that will be again running overnight, depending on the schedule of the timing of that you want it to run. And I'll just bring that forward to you there now. So imagine you have this all set up and configured. I'm going to start the, oh, apologies there, I'm just on a trial license for the demo. So we've got this running in the background. It's going to find my files, which it has done. It's found the customer one there first. So I'm going to have a look at the customer, and there's been 9 items processed in that. That's fine. And we'll just have a quick look at the supplier one, and there's another further 9 items on that. So imagine all that is all running through the night there on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log back into Sage 50. So imagine I'm coming in the next morning, right password, and I'm going to go straight just to my transaction list. Now, when I left before I logged out, I had created 2 transactions here, 2 purchase invoice lines. Okay, so everything since then has posted through based on the date on the file. These are all sales invoices and these are all purchase invoices. Now, they could have gone directly to the nominal journal. They could have gone directly to the bank. So again, that's all part of the implementation design that we can talk you through. But you can see there, if I pop into the suppliers now, oh, I have a number of suppliers extra that are updated. So you can see here based on the suppliers there, I have additional information there. So I've got 3 suppliers. Now I am normally just going to use then Sage 50 if I wish to for what you would expect an accounting system to do. Things like your age creditors report. So if we pop into a preview here, you can see my turnover balance period 1, 2, 3. Another item you may do is you may look at suggested payments. So what should I pay my suppliers? And they can all pop up there. You can create bank files, remittance advices, etc. We can cover that on another webinar there if you wish. But ultimately you can see purchase order to invoice or externally bringing it forward. And likewise, my customers now have also been populated. So if I look at my activity, so you can see here, my till sales have come through on my importing. Now, another area I want to talk about, and I'll go through it in a bit more detail, is departments. So you can see here, we've got a number of departments on the system. They're free text. You can call them what you wish, or you call them cost centers, depending on your terminology. You got various things around departments, such as budget, balance sheets. Let's have a quick look at our departmental P&L. So if we just do a quick preview on that. So you can see here, we got various postings that have come through now from our import, our food and beverage sales, voucher sales, purchases, no overheads just currently at the moment, and that will be relevant in a minute. So, or what I can do is I can run my P&L for my restaurant only, and you'll see that the figures will amend themselves automatically. So you can see this is the values for the restaurant only. And again, likewise, I'm just going to show no overheads currently as we stand. So again, I'm going to come back to the departments now in a short while, but just to show you there that we've been able to either import or manually create our purchase invoice and our sales invoices across departments. But one other area you may consider for departmental breakdown is the payroll system that you use. Okay, so I've set up a payroll here. I'm not going to demo the payroll per se, so I'm going to go straight into time and pay. It's prompting me for RPNs because it's not a real payroll. I don't need to be concerned about that, but you are aware of the new modernization that you have to collect your RPNs every payroll run that you do, likewise on your submissions back. So what we need to do is just make sure, oh, that's popped off to have a look. Sorry, did I press the right one there? It's connecting to, just give me 1 second. Excellent, okay. So just going to, now I can import the timesheets. Purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to go to just the multi-entry quite deliberately because Joe Smith works in multiple departments for me. So I'm going to give him 10 hours here at a rate of, let's say, €12. Remember, number one department is my restaurant. So I'm going to look here and say, well, actually, he also worked in the bar. And that is department number 2. And I'm going to give him another 10 hours here. And I'm going to say, well, he actually earns €15 in the bar. Then what he's also going to do as well in the bar, I've also got him, the bar department, I've got him working an extra 2 hours overtime, and I'm going to give him €22 for that. Now again, as I said, this can all be imported. It's purely for the benefit of the demo. I'm doing it manually. I'm going to save that. Now you would expect you're going to do your control summary, etc., and all the other reports. This I'm going to go straight through to the end of period and post the calculations. And as I said earlier, you would end up doing your submission, etc. I'll just have a quick look in here at one of the reports, departmental, because the fact that I did split out his pay over the departments, and I'm going to go to the preview. And you can see Joe Smith has 10 hours under the restaurant department. Go to the next page, and under the bar food, he has 10 hours plus 2 hours overtime. So imagine that was populated with a large number of employees. You'd be able to see very quickly a report that you can reconcile back to possibly your timesheet system. Right. But what I'm in here actually to do is I want to process and create a import file of my payroll broken down by my department. So literally click the button and say create the file. One already exists. I'm just going to override that one, come out of there, and what I have done is, again, I've created a nominal import file. Okay, all the layouts and everything like that we can work through with you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back into Sage 50 just to show you can also use the import process in Sage 50, and we'll just pop into the imports, just closing off my department area. Now again, I've already set this up, so I'm going to look at my order trail transactions, click on next. It's a comma separated file, and I'm just going to find my import. Now the next screen here that you're going to see, all this is mapped out once for you. So even though it's coming in here and showing you the mapping, you don't have to concern yourself with that. It's telling us that we have that mapped, and hopefully, yes, hopefully we've got our journal that's come through here. I'm going to close that off. And if I jump straight to the nominal codes, and we'll go to 7,000, which is our gross wages. And just make sure I don't have any other nominal highlight in the background there. So you can see very quickly that has gone and divided up the journal over 2 different departments, and you can see the value split here. So again, if I pop back to my department area and I go and I run my department for everybody, all departments, I click on the preview and I just have a quick look there. We're back to having our import figures for all departments, but you can see now my overheads is populated here for all the departments, which is the 396. And if my calculations serve me in memory, it was something like 254 and 141, I think. So I'm just going to run the restaurant, which I think when we saw it was 254. So I'm going to click on OK and pop down here and just see 254. Okay, so we've got 254 going to our wages. Again, because I'm only highlighting the restaurant, we can see that one there. Now, so we can see here that we can not only use the departments from within the Sage 50, we can also import from our payroll system. Just another area to complement, and I'm going to finish up there shortly, is another area to complement departments. We have created an Excel book. And what we've done is we've been able to run a P&L example over a department reporting in Excel. Now you can see no relation to our nominal structure that I spoke about, obviously. So that relates more to Pembroke. I've connected to a company, but I haven't updated it. So for the speed of the demo, I'm just going to go straight into the update. So it's connected this Excel book into my Sage 50. It's extracted the rows out of it, and you can see instantly here, now it's updated with my nominal codes from the company that I had linked. So what it's done here is then it's broken it down over different departments that I have in the system. And you can see there, if I'm right, 396 was split over 254, it's just rounded, and 141. So you've seen me import it there and then, and you've seen it literally linked within minutes. What we've got down here is just different layouts of the same information. All it's done is it's broken down by month and then by your number of departments on that. And we start in February, etc. 254 is still the same figure. And I'm sure down across here, we come to the end there, 396 is the grand total. So I hope you can see we can offer a lot of the breakdown of the department, which I think is very relevant in your industry. We can integrate with third-party systems. We can also use Sage 50 as standalone and create various functions in there for your industry. This is only a snip of what Sage 50 can do, and it's just to give you an overview. We'd be delighted to talk to you directly on a one-to-one basis. So I just want to review, we track our purchasing, we can reconcile our purchasing to our invoice, we can give you the departmental breakdown, we can integrate with third party, we can take payroll information through per department, and we can do some management reporting for you. So I think you'll agree there that there hopefully is some things to talk about. These are some contact details that you can follow up with us if you have any questions regarding the webinar this morning. Once again, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to join us. I know time is very precious, and hopefully again we can complement that aspect. Thank you.